With Pikmin seeing a well-deserved influx of new players, I figured I'd take this time to put out some guidance on the Timed Dandori missions, particularly since later ones can be brutally difficult. Each video will be an uncut run of me in the topic challenge providing a director's commentary of sorts. This is mostly because I hyper-focus to abysmally silent levels while I play. This will serve as a guide, but I implore you to find your own path. Use a repeatable method for each stage that works with your particular playstyle. With that out of the way, let's cover some ground rules. Rule number 1. Unless it's near the end and you're waiting on those last few treasures, Ochi and the captain should be separate for the duration of the challenge. You'll cover more ground and get more done this way. Ochi can serve as his own captain, plucking, throwing, and commanding Pikmin. Use and abuse this feature. Rule number 2. Unless the enemy has an ice affinity or does not normally leave a corpse, do not use ice Pikmin for combat. Enemy corpses count towards your score, and if you delete them, you'll never get that platinum rank. Rule number 3. Buff Ochi. Given enough time and raw materials, he becomes the fastest way to bust down gates and some enemies too. Rule number 4. While Nectar can help, I wouldn't recommend going out of your way for it unless it goes to purples. Every second counts. 5th and finally, there is an order of operations to what you should be doing. Top of that list is creating shortcuts. We want to spend as little time as possible transporting items to the ship. Tied with that is defeating enemies. We want those exact same shortcuts to be nice and safe. Directly underneath that in the priority is get more Pikmin. You're going to start off with maybe 5, 10 Pikmin, 15 if you're lucky, and that is not nearly enough to complete these Dandori challenges. Next in the priority is transport nuggets. Some stages have only 1 or 2 piles, making it easy to transport all at once, but usually it's better to start them early and move Pikmin as needed. Finally, transport treasures and corpses. You'll usually find them near each other, so it becomes super easy to just rush them near the end. As a final note, during the loading screen, I'll flash up a list of useful items and upgrades specific to the Dandori challenge. I always recommend the drone though, because you can survey the area and get a general idea of where you should be going and plan your route with as much time as you need. So just like my guide says, the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to pull out the survey drone and take a look at what I'm looking at. Right here we have some Pikmin fighting a dwarf Bulborb, so I'm definitely going to want to go over there because that's an enemy and that's more Pikmin. That's 2 of the things on the priority list. Over here we have a few more Bulborbs and one that is also being attacked by Pikmin. We have a couple more Bulborbs, a dirt wall, and a tusked blowhog there also being attacked by Pikmin. I'm keeping in my mind where everything is. And up here we have a pile of nuggets and a shortcut. We also have some Pikmin on that cylinder and a plant right by base. First thing I'm going to do is switch to Ochi and start taking down this dirt wall by base. I'm going to use the captain, meanwhile, to take out this dwarf Bulborb and get some more Pikmin. I know there's some Pikmin in this plant here, so I'm going to whistle into it. Usually if you see a plant like that, there's Pikmin in it, so I would recommend doing the same. Here it takes 2 rushes of Ochi to take down that dirt wall, and we can see he's going to start taking out those dwarf Bulborbs. I'm actually going to pause it right here and zoom in on that. Back to the captain, though. Lock-On got stuck on a plant. He did try to eat a Pikmin, but he didn't swallow, so I get to keep them. And here, normally you would think, well, even though shortcuts and enemies are tied, the shortcut is right there. But I've had runs in the past where because the Pikmin are pulling that plant towards the Bulborb, they actually start fighting it and aggress it, and that usually results in them dying. So I'm going to attack the Bulborb first in this situation, just so that I don't lose any Pikmin. You can make a few mistakes in these missions, but not too many. Once I see his health go to red, I know he's pretty much dead, so I'm going to switch over to Ochi. There's some Pikmin up here, and we see that the shortcut takes exactly 5, which is how many we collected. That's convenient. Switch back to the captain, and remember, we want to open up that shortcut, so we're going to rush him onto that plant. Switch back. Hey, that string's unraveled. Put him on the nuggets. Ochi, meanwhile, is going to go over this way and start fighting that enemy, which will give us a few more Pikmin to work with. We can see the pot of plant is dug up, but I'm just going to take out this tough blowhogs first, even though these Pikmin are not in any particular danger. It lets me start transporting more stuff. There's no nuggets in the area, so we're going to just put some red Pikmin on that Long John. And Ochi is going to go over here and start digging up this waffle because his dig is upgraded and he's much faster at it than any Pikmin. Here we go with some nuggets. I'm just going to rush all 25 onto that. And now it's just the waiting game of waiting for Pikmin to be at base. This is usually what will happen. In certain stages, I would recommend the Idler's Alert, which will bring Pikmin to you, but in this particular stage, since it's so short, it's not worth it. Here I'm going to use the Go Here function to tell Ochi to head over to that astringent clump on the ledge. I only have 10 Pikmin, which is not enough for that jam, so I'm going to just rush them straight onto the Bulborb corpse. And bring his children with 2, because I have 25 now. I have 19. So I could get that right now, but there's a few other corpses right now, and that one's kind of far. Let's get the stuff that's easy for the moment. Just because that nugget pile is going to take so long, it's not really worth it. I have 10 left here, 3 for that cookie, 7 for the corpse. Try to remember how much weight cost things have, because then that'll really help you strategize where you should be sending Pikmin. And here I have 25 Pikmin, which it takes 12 to take back this jam jar, so I'm going to rush it twice to put all 24 on it, because the default behavior is to just put the minimum amount. So right now, the astringent clump is back. The only thing left is that jam jar and a few nuggets that you can hear. I pan the camera, and looks like all the nuggets are coming back, so there's no reason for me to go over there and rush the remainder of my Pikmin out of that pile. Because it doesn't exist. And right there, at 146 exactly, that's it. We got all the treasure. Time gets added as a bonus, and that's a new high score for me. And I encourage you to try and beat that.